everyone. Right, let's make sure this is all working fine. I'm pretty sure it will be. We have myself, Sam, and Mike again.
Hello.
And I'm just going to move this microphone out of the way. Right, we haven't got any topics, so if people want to do post any in the live chat, any topics or questions you want to go through, anything you want to ask, and we can just start it off pretty early on and get everybody involved as well and get everybody answering questions. I'm working on my Sigmar Showdown entry again. It's had all of his base colours on him and one wash so far. The only thing I've done more than that is just trying out this red on his foot. So I'm quite happy with the look on that. I'm just going to zoom in a bit actually. Not too far because it's not amazing, but it's just a mix of some reds with some very brighter oranges on the very edges to make it stand out just a tiny bit more. So I'm going to go through this model today, just aiming to get the red done, or at least a bit more of it done. I think Phil's in the chat as well because he's responding to people.
Okay.
Hey Phil. Gloss. Okay, that's the first question. Gloss versus matte washes. And I know why Phil's asked that.
Go on.
Well, I accidentally put gloss all over this. I was going to use Agrax.
When you say accidentally,
I picked up the wrong wash.
I thought you were just going to try it. And
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
going to see what it was like.
I was going to try it on the metallics. The metallics look really good with a gloss wash. However, I used the pot on everything else first. And then
Did you
obviously...
slip?
No, because obviously when you're using a wash, it goes on quite glossy anyway. And it's only when it dries that you realise that it isn't a gloss.
Ah.
So obviously when I was looking at it and it still hadn't dried after a few hours, I realised that it was the gloss that I'd used.
So are you going back in to sort of cover it up now, or are you sticking with it?
I've done the coats over this red and you can't even tell that it had a gloss coat on it. And at the end I'm going to do a varnish and it will matte it down anyway. The bonus of using the gloss wash for me from Games Workshop is it flows a hell of a lot better. I was wondering
I've not had a chance to use it yet, so hearing from you will be the first time I know anything about it, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. And normally, as you know, like me and Phil will mix medium into all of our washes so that they flow a little bit better and you don't get watermarks. That's the one thing that I always try and do with washers is mix medium into them, because you'll get nasty marks all over your model if you just put a wash on it and leave it to dry. Whereas the medium just makes it flow a hell of a lot better around all of the model.
So is there certain things with the gloss wash that you'd choose that over the normal washes?
Definitely on metallics. If you use a gloss wash on a metallic, it looks amazing. I could probably leave this silver. It's only had a very thin Agrax gloss wash on it, and you could use a Reichland Flesh shade gloss or the Norn oil as on top of it as well, and it would just add a few more colours.
Okay.
But other than it flowing better and being good on metallics, I probably wouldn't bother using glosses over normal ones, because I'm going to matte my models down afterwards anyway. So I'd only have to go back over with some sort of gloss. But yeah.
Yeah.
Krilda. I'm going to call you Krilda. I'm sorry. Just tell me if that's wrong. But Krilda's put, does it pool bad? No, it doesn't. It's actually a little bit better than a normal wash. Like I say, if it's like having a wash and mixing some medium into it. It flows a lot better than a normal wash. However, just putting medium into a normal wash would do the same thing anyway. So I wouldn't worry about it. Now, he's also asked, how did you do / what is the brace made from? Do you mean my paint pot or my pigment pot? Is that the brace that you're referring to? Rob Norton has joined us. We'll go through who's here actually. So we have Krilda, Basic Miniature Painting, Steve Forrest, Jim Wilson. Hello, Jim. Phil's sitting there as well. He might join us later on. And Rob Norton has just joined us as well.
Sweet, quite a few in them.
Yeah, it's good. Right, so what am I starting with? Well, what are you doing anyway, Mike?
I'm attempting to work on my Sigma Showdown model. Now I say attempting is because the idea that I had before was to use one of the rat ogres from the Island of Blood set, and then I was gonna give him another pair of arms and then go from there. But I couldn't find anything that was the right sort of scale to go off it, other than possibly find another rat ogre. Now, because I didn't have one that was going to work, I thought I'm going to up this a little bit more because I know I've got spare bits for Storm Fiends. So it's going to be.
Whoa. When you say spare bits for Storm Fiends, what do you mean?
Well, I had this model that was just sat in the cabinet, but not doing anything. I thought I'll take the arms off as carefully as I can.
From which model? Because I gave you my Storm Fiend on the basis that you needed an extra rat in your armor.
Oh, yeah, it's not that Storm Fiend, don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, so my rat's perfectly fine then, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine then. I'm just wondering where you get these spare parts from.
You did leave him where he didn't have any arms though, didn't you, yeah?
So you've removed the arms off the model I gave you?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, cheers, Mike. Well, the good thing is you're going to have a Sigma Showdown entry, not a problem. The bad news is the model I've given you now has no arms. And it was a painted model.
He's been left in a good enough condition that if you can get another 2 arms, they'd glue straight back on, and you wouldn't know the difference other than there isn't paint on the arms.
But yeah, okay. So if by
I had asked you before, do you want this back or anything like that? Can I do whatever I want with it? Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with it, Mike. I didn't expect you to rip the arms off it and stick it onto a different model. I will know next time when you say, "Can I have this model?" I'm like, "Yeah, no worries." Yeah,
I didn't ask for the model.
I'm just being nice. It's the last time I'm being nice. Krilda says no, all the base. So the base is... There are pictures up on the Facebook group showing what it looked like before I covered it in sand, but it was just using milliput to build up this sort of groundwork. It wasn't too difficult. It was the first time I've used milliput, so it's not expert level stuff, but there's just milliput on here, and then I've covered that with sand and slate. These bricks are from Green Stuff World, and I did a review on their products yesterday. I think that one went up. If you go back through the videos, you'll be able to see these little red resin bricks. You get 500 in a box, and they're brilliant, and I've just started scattering them around the base. I wanted this bit to look like an archway, and I've not done any painting on it yet other than the base colour and a wash, but it looks kind of nice. He's got some skulls that he's stepping on. Tabletop War James has joined us. Hello, James.
Hello.
Basic miniature painting rather than use sand and glue and texture paints. What can I use to base my models? So rather than using sand and glue and texture paints. Mike, what's your favourite thing to use on bases and mine?
I think you know what's coming here. That'd be cork.
The wonders of cork.
Is amazing. I on most models now, I think I've put cork on nearly every single base because it's so easy to use. It's like if you get yourself a sheet of cork, just adding multiple layers to it, like different sizes, better super glue, stuck down, job done. Yeah,
and you can buy cork on eBay you can buy it in sheets, so just flat sheets of cork, or you can get like round coasters, so designed for like putting your mugs on and things. You can go to Poundland and pick up a pack of 4 for £1, obviously, and they're really good. You just break them up and you've got quick and easy bases.
Have you got anything to hand with cork on?
You know what? You know how much cork I use?
Yeah.
And I've got no models.
I thought you might have one just to hand or something.
I've put everything away. I've been really good and tidied up the study and moved all my models away so it's not so cluttered. And now you ask me if I've got any models on cork.
Yeah.
So cork's brilliant. Bark is another one that I've just started using. Slate.
Yeah, slate's another.
So all of those
in big pieces, or even if you break it up.
And I know you said texture paints, but I'm not going to include this. But the technical paint, the Agrellan Earth, the crackle paint's a really good one to do a base, because you just stick the crackle paint on, let it dry, and then do a dry brush and a wash, and that's it. You really don't need to do much more to it. So I would recommend trying all of those things, and all of them in combination, potentially.
Yeah, because it's like for me now, like even when I'm using cork, I'll still use sand and then bits of slate, and other bits like that, just add a bit more to it. And then it's just a case of giving it a base coat and then a couple of dry brushes and a wash, and then you're done.
Yep. All right, what else have we got? Rob Norton got out of work a little early, so bonus get to watch more. That's brilliant, Rob. Thank you for joining us.
Sweet.
Hunter_SWC, is this miniature for a Khorne army? No, this is for a challenge which we've set between the Chilling Wargamers and ourselves, and including anybody in the community, you guys and girls, any other YouTube channels that want to join in. You basically create yourself a unique character that can be used in the Age of Sigmar world, or you can just build a model and have a bit of fun with it. But the idea is to convert it, paint it, no bigger than a 40mm base. So you can do a smaller model if you want to, but the limit is 40mm. And if you want to come up with a backstory, you can do as well. So this chap that I'm working on here started off as the I forgot his name. He's got a hound. He comes with the Age of Sigmar starter set, and I've kept the body and the legs, and I've removed both arms, given him a different head, different wings, different weapon. Everything's pinned and green stuffed a lot of the areas as well in between. So I did that on the last Hangout last week, just finishing up the green stuff work. But he's got a backstory as well. Very briefly, he was working with the Stormcast Eternals with Sigmar. He was gifted with wings from the Chaos Gods, and then it was only when his face started to turn into a horrible mutant thing that Sigmar decided that that's a bit too freaky for the Stormcast and we're going to have to kick you out. But because he'd been fighting for so long and doing such a great job for the good guys, they didn't kill him, they just banished him. So now he's out in the realms just killing everything, and the gods, the Chaos Gods, love him so much they keep gifting him. So he's got some Chaos Nurgly looking mutations here. He's picked up a scythe because his weapon that he had when he was with the Stormcast was stripped from him as well, and he's got armor that is taken from Chaos, who is killed. So I quite like the idea that he's just a random mercenary warrior who was good, who's been cast out, and now he's just killing stuff because he's good at it. So if you want to come up with a backstory and design your model, join in and just put hashtag Sigmar Showdown to join him. Crowder, lol, arms, lol, who need them? Yeah, who needs them? Black Knight. Auric Love God, hello. I loved your comment the other day. I was saying this to Mike, didn't I, Mike?
Yeah.
I think it was it was either a battle report or a showcase. And I love my Oryx, I love my Iron Jaws. And I was looking at the first comment or one of the comments on the video, and it's from this person called Auric Love God. I was like, that's a cool name anyway. And then the comment started with like, Auric. I was like, yes, this is genius. So that's brilliant. Thank you for joining us on this live chat. Auric Love God again. Milliput is easy to use, and you can do things like waves or something that doesn't look like cork. Plus, you can use your rollers on cork. I've never thought about using rollers on cork.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's quite a good one. Have we got a dislike? That's nice. That's background. Maybe we shouldn't do background. Jim Wilson, slate top tip. Most garden centres allow you to take samples for patios, etc., which basically means free basing material. Yes, we talked about getting cheaper materials, and Phil was talking about paint today, wasn't he? You know, the
for the board.
Yeah, you just go to your local hardware store or whatever, and you can ask for paint samples. You can get small tubs of the sample paint for cheap as well, like 50p or something like that. But yeah, checking out garden centres, I didn't realise you can get samples of slate. That's a brilliant idea.
I might have to go down and do that then.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere as well that I can't remember which video or who was talking about it, but you can like go to carpet shops and get samples of carpets as well, and people were using those for hedges for making scenery. And there's all sorts of things. As soon as you
carpets,
yeah. Like you get the carpet and you can turn it into fields and hedgerows and things. I think it might have been Mel, the train tutor.
Okay.
I'm sure he was showing off what you can do with carpets.
I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, you wouldn't have thought that you could use it like carpet or something like that, though, would you?
No, but that's what I mean. When you start looking at everything else you can do, you just look around. You look around at what's out there in the world and how you could then use that in. Oh no, I've just gone onto metal. How you could use that in the hobby, and you suddenly realise that there's a lot more stuff. What is the scythe from? This is from the. Again, I don't know. I'm not very good with the names because they've changed a lot of them. But when the End Times came out, there was the Glotkin, the big, massive Nurgle model, and there was the smaller ones, the Magath Lords. And one of the riders on the back has got a two-handed scythe, and it's from that. And I just never used it. Bazooka J Rambo's joined us. Hello, thank you for joining us. Tabletop War James. Sam, how was your first day at school today? You will only get this if you saw my comment on the pictures earlier. I've been busy all day, James.
Have you not seen it?
No.
It was the pictures from today from when we were working on the board.
That's what I mean. I've not even gone onto Facebook and properly gone through. What has he said?
It was just saying about it looks like your first day of school because you look so happy sat there.
Oh, has Phil uploaded the pictures?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was actually going to upload pictures. Cheers, Phil. It was quite good. I sat around for about an hour watching Mike do work on the boards, and I was just flicking through my phone, really. And then I realised that I was doing nothing, so I decided to get up and start making some scenery. And we've got a lot of boards to make. At the minute, we've only got a snowboard, so all of our battle reports start with snow. It's it's a nice board and everything, but we definitely want more. So we've kind of worked things out. We're going to have a forest-looking board. It's going to be nice greenery with some nice scenery on there as well. That will be probably towards the end of May. We'll start using that board. And then Phil's decided that we're going to do a desert board to go alongside our 40k campaign. So it's going to involve the city board, the desert, the mines, and a hive world. So there's going to be quite a lot to that. The only downside is we've got to do it all.
Yeah, it's going to take some time.
So we decided what would be the best thing priority-wise for us to work on, and that was the desert board, because we can use that in Age of Sigmar games and 40k and other stuff as well. So today was building the base work for the desert boards, and then because I was pretty useless, Phil handed me a chisel and a hammer for me to take some snow off a previous board, and once I'd had fun with that, I was pretty useless. So I went off to go and build scenery pieces, if you can call it that.
Well, they looked alright.
I had a really cool idea. Because we're doing like a desert board, I said I want to build something that's going to be great. And I told him I wasn't going to tell him what it was. But in the end, I just showed him the picture. And it's the Pride Rock from Lion King. So that is going to be our centerpiece on the desert board, this giant Pride Rock with ramps that go up either side so that we can have an objective on it, and you can actually walk up and capture things as well. So it's inspired by the Lion King. And then Phil told us that he'd never watched the Lion King, neither had his son, neither had his wife. And that is the first time I've ever heard of anybody not watching not only Lion King, but any Disney films.
How do we always manage to get onto films every time we do a chat?
Yeah, we'll stop it. All right. Wargaming Wizard has joined us. Evening, everybody. Thank you for joining Wargaming Wizard.
Thank you.
How are you doing tonight? This evening. Krilda, how do you guys feel about the possible new rules for 40k? Love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like. Just because if it's going to be simplified, I think that's just good all around. Because we've said this several times before, that when we play games, we spend more time with our head in the book than we do actually playing, don't we?
Yeah, that's partly because I'm playing.
Yeah, but you find it's almost becomes a case of that it's every single rule that you're having to check.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a lot of rules at the minute. And it would be better for me if they condense some of it. But no, some of the rules, the rumours that we've seen look good. We did a full discussion that got a lot of comments, and a lot of people chucked in their thoughts on there as well. So it's worth going back and just watching that video at some point if you get a chance. Pink's on there with us, and Pink does a lot about rules, so he knows what he's talking about. But since then, there's been more rumours, haven't there?
You're gonna have to remind me again.
I can't remember them all, but there's been more rumours, and I don't really want to go too in depth with them now until it's going to be out. And you know what? I think it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well, when were we thinking it was going to be? Was it what we now?
I think May.
April. It was May, June time is what we were taking a guess at it being, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think when they did Age of Sigmar, that was about June, July, wasn't it? I think it was summer holiday, I think.
Yeah, they had the whole End Times run up as well, though.
Yeah.
Which was April, May sort of time, and then after that it was like, here's Sigmar, have fun. And a lot of people didn't have fun.
No, but there was a lot of people that changed their mind on it though after they'd played it.
Took a while.
Yeah, but anytime they change rules or a codex and stuff, it's never an instant thing, is it?
Yeah, you can't keep everybody happy. It's quite difficult.
But then, but one quick thing. But when it comes to like rules and stuff, if people aren't happy with it and don't like the changes, there's nothing stopping you from then still playing the previous edition.
Well, there's nothing stopping you in this day and age. Stuff gets changed, doesn't it? If there's a rule which GW implement, and then people realise that they're not happy with it, and they were on the fence in the first place. If they were testing something, like Age of Sigmar, for example, they tested it without points. There was an uproar. It didn't work. They changed it. If there's genuinely something that's wrong with a game system now, they're looking at doing something about it. It's not like they're just going to go, oh, here's the rules. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, well, have fun with it. We'll update it in another couple of years or 3 years. You've got to wait till then. They are looking at doing frequent FAQs, balancing. We're already going to get the General's Handbook version 2 this year, looking at some of the stuff that's coming out from there. So it isn't just we'll update it and then you just get on with your hobby until we come back and update it, and you've just got to wait and hope that it's as good as you want it to be. It's not like that anymore. Yeah, Kiblams has joined. Hello, Kiblams. Rattel Mike, I had it as June according to the GW man in Milton Keynes. Okay, yeah, I think it's got to be around that sort of time. The thing is, when you announce something like 8th edition is coming out, there are going to be people who don't buy stuff until that is now out. So it's quite one of the downsides to having all the rumours in the past and seeing a lot of armies having rumoured updates is people would just not buy. There's obviously people who would just buy whatever, regardless of the rumours, but there's also people who say, there's the new Sky Dwarves, the Caradron Overlords are coming out. I was just about to start Dwarves, right, I'm going to wait for the Caradrons now. So GW aren't getting money from people who would have potentially bought Dwarves, and I think if you do that with a whole system, it can have that effect, and maybe there isn't as much 40k being bought at the moment because of those rumours. I know myself personally, I'm not buying a 40k army until 8th edition now, just because I know that it could be quite a big mix-up in the rules, even though I know pretty much which faction I'm going to do and how I'm going to start it. I don't want to invest in an army right now when it might get completely switched when 8th edition comes out.
Yeah.
So I think they'll have to do it sooner rather than later, which is why I think maybe May.
It's definitely not going to be a lot long until something's announced.
Nah. Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting times. It's great to have stuff to look forward to, and there's so much stuff to look forward to at the moment that.
Well, yeah, there's for a while now, it's just constant new releases that are good.
And it's not even going into non-GW stuff. Like we've been exposed now to this whole other world of wargaming and bolt action and Test of Honor and Conflict 47.
Yeah, Wild West Exodus.
Wild West Exodus. I mean, there's so many games out there that you just don't have enough time to do them all.
No.
There's no way near enough time. And it's a shame.
Especially if you're going to try and paint them all as well.
Yeah, I forgot how I did the red. I don't normally try blending at all. This is like one of the first models where I'm thinking I might try and blend some of these colours, but I'm rubbish at it. I normally just do layers and edge highlights, and that's enough for me. But I am trying. Right, what else have we got? Bazooka, J. Rambo. Oh no, Rattel Mike. Haven't played 40k since 4th edition. Would you guys advise waiting till new release before starting a new army? Fancy Space Wolves. Yeah, again, that's going into what we were just saying, really. If you want to risk it, just buy Space Wolves. If it's going to go like Age of Sigmar, anything you buy will be usable.
Yeah, see, it's difficult to tell for definite as to well, there's no way of telling at this minute in time for definite as to what exactly is going to be changed. But going off rumours, and this is completely rumours, that it looks like it's heading more towards Age of Sigmar. Not that it's definitely going to be, not that it will be 100% Age of Sigmar, but more simplified and along the lines of the way that it works.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, if it's also what type of army do you want to build? Do you want to build an army that's going to be really good at tournaments? Do you want a top tier army list to trash people, or do you just want to start Space Wolves because they're cool and you want to play Space Wolves? Because if that's the case, there's nothing stopping you from just buying the models you want now. Because I would say, in my opinion, they will be just doing an Age of Sigmar thing where everything's usable, all of the models in their range will be worth buying, and you just play with the models you want and work with it. So if you want to play a tournament style game, then wait until 8th edition comes out so you can see what changes they actually make and how you would want to build your army. If you're not going to be doing it like that, then just buy what you want. Get a head start, start an army ready for 8th edition. We also have you seen the new sepulchral guard for Shadespire? Let's just skip that one for a minute because that's quite a big one to talk about for me. Auric Loveguard points are inconsequential to selling minis. GW has never been known for good rules, good models, yes, rules, no. Yeah, I mean, it's never been perfect, but it's getting better. Kablams learned Age of Sigmar today, so that was cool. Yeah, it is cool. Wait till you play about 20-30 games and then you realise what actually happens with the game. It's amazing. Because it took us a while to get into it, didn't it?
Yeah, it took us a fair few. I think we played a couple of when it first came out, we played a couple of games, and we were still unsure on it, as in what we were actually doing.
We're still unsure now. No. Well, we still forget stuff now anyway.
Yeah, but that's more just forgetting rather than not knowing how to play. But it didn't take that long to pick up.
It was fun as well. It's a lot of fun.
Well, the fact of everything just being laid out in front of you is, this is its movement, wounds, its attacks. It's all there for you now.
Yeah, just flick to a page and roll the dice it tells you to roll. Right, okay, that's one way of playing it. Yeah. James, I'm the same with 40k. I nearly started an army today, but didn't buy anything and won't until the new rules come out. Yep, same thing. Kablams, I haven't had that good an experience since I learnt Frostgrave. That's excellent stuff. And I think a lot of people, once they try it, if people go into playing new games, this isn't just Age of Sigmar, this is any game. If you go in already with the attitude of this game is not what I want it to be, or this isn't going to be as good as another game, then it's not going to live up to any expectation. You're not going to enjoy it because you're automatically expecting it to be bad. Whereas if you just go in and want to try something and realise this is a game of toy soldiers and you want to have fun and this potentially could be a game that would work for you, try it. If you don't like it, go play another game. If you like it, awesome. Keep playing it.
Well, that's it. Going off that, it's like if you've got a local gaming club or anything like that, it'd be worth popping down to that because there's a good chance there's going to be several different games being played down there.
Yeah.
Or even pop in and just ask as to what other game types are played. And then more than likely you'd better go along and even join in on a game and then see whether you like it first.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same with the scale of it. Obviously, you don't need hundreds of models to play. You can start with a small warband style army.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. Like the Test of Honor's one. I think from some intro games that I'd seen, you might need Well, it's not. I'm not going to say for definitely this is what you need, but from what I saw in the video was they had one samurai, an archer, and maybe 3 spearmen, and that was it. So that's what 5 models, and then that was enough to start playing games. So if you're one that you don't like sitting down and spending forever painting models, and you just want to get on to be able to play a game, then that's ideal for you. If it's that small model count.
Definitely. We've got some more stuff here. James has put, also I found a load of Stormcast Eternal stuff, so I'm going to build them up and get on the AOS. Excellent, another person who's joining. Rattel Mike, thanks guys, I'm finding AOS a cracking game, so easy to read and understand and so simple to play. Tactics and strategy come from the War Scrolls. I think GW are very smart on this side, in my opinion, yeah. And I'm loving how many people are realising it now.
Yeah.
Because the rules are simple. Like, the rules need to be simple for people to get into it. They need to be simple for you to play it. It doesn't mean the game is easy. It doesn't, if you play against somebody who knows what they're doing, it's another competitive level, isn't it?
Well, it was compared to chess, wasn't it? That it's easy to play but difficult to master, if I've got that right.
Yeah. So, if you know all of the, if you can sit and you know all of the abilities from each army, you're going to have an advantage over somebody who doesn't. And that's what. So if you go into a tournament knowing what each army can do, what each unit can do, and you know all of their abilities and their strengths and weaknesses, you will still be on a higher advantage than somebody who's just turning up with the knowledge of their army in their head.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just turn up and roll some dice and whoever rolls highest wins. It isn't that level of simplicity, which is the way that a lot of people, said it was.
But it's like one of the tactical sides on it as well would be when it comes to combats. If there's several combats going on, is making the right choice on what unit you activate first, because that can completely change how how the battle goes.
And not only that, but the thing that I still get confused on, normally if you've got 4 units within range of 4 units and you want to charge into combat, in 40k you would normally just charge in, wouldn't you? Especially if the rumours are going to be, if you charge in you get to go first, yeah?
Yeah.
In Age of Sigmar, if you've got 4 units and you manage to get them all into combat, you only get to attack first with 2 of those units. Because you choose a unit to attack, then the opponent gets to pick one. So you have the edge on the first choice, but then the opponent has the edge. So the idea is that, when I look at it now, if I'm playing my combat phase and I have 2 units that could charge, I might only charge one of them in. Because I want to have the advantage in one combat, and then if they charge me in the next turn with 2 units, I might still have the advantage on one of the combats.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to think about it rather than just going, I'm going to charge everything in and see what happens. Look into actually what will happen in the next few turns. Right, what else have we got? Wargaming Wizard, I am so thinking of buying into the new flying midgets, i.e. Caradon Overlords. They're amazing. Their ships are amazing as well. We went to Warhammer World last week and they look even better in the flesh.
I haven't seen them in person yet.
They're brilliant. I keep thinking about doing one as a Stormwolf. I know I keep saying it, but I think it's called a Stormwolf. It was the 40k Space Wolf Flyer. Whatever that is.
Stormfang?
Might be a Stormfang, yeah. Just getting one of them. One of them big flying airships and sticking some Space Wolves on it hanging off the side. I know it's not legit, but whatever. It would look cool. Space pirates flying on giant Zeppelin-looking airship things.
No, I do really like the look of the models. I don't think it's an army I'd go for playing with, but just the look of the army I quite like.
I wish there was more skin on them. I know the whole look of them is they're in suits of steampunk armor, and that's their style. I think if they had flesh, I would be completely sold. I'm just a bit disappointed that there's none for me to paint. Right, we've also got Oracle of God. The most important thing to having fun playing is finding opponents. You'll play whatever game for which you can find opponents. Exactly, yeah. And I think that Claude has just put, what kind of player do you guys feel you are? Power. Wick. What's Wick? Have I read that wrong? Power comp fun. I mean, we don't really do tournaments, do we?
No, but I think a lot of the time it depends on who we're playing against as well. As to like, if you're playing someone that you know is competitive, then I find for me the competitive side of me then does come out, but I still like to try and have fun at the same time.
You don't get annoyed at games, though, do you?
No.
Right.
It's like because that was one thing that was always with me and you, that you would find it difficult if you lost one model, that it was all that it was all over, and it's like, I can't win now. I've lost one tactical marine. No, I'm done. Why am I playing this army? Whereas with me, I could lose like half my army in the first turn. It's like, well, I can try still. But that's the one thing with this hobby. You're going to find lots of different players. But when me and you play now, we're more just having a laugh and a joke through the entire game, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm like as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Phil knows what I'm like. Let the wiki win. That's pretty much what he says every single game. And I've got better, but I just don't like
I think you can take a loss now, though, whereas you couldn't before.
Yeah, I just sort of start sulking. I don't know why. It's a game of toy soldiers. Like,
yeah, there was at times where you'd be like, okay, I know I'm going to win this, so I'm going to beat Sam, but I am terrified he's about to flip that table with all my models on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You learn about what you're doing, don't you? You're playing it for fun. I mean, the reason for me is I play as a reward to painting rather than doing the hobby to play games, which is a bit different. So it might be something to do with that. I'm not playing the games. That isn't a hobby for me, although I do enjoy it. So if I lose a game, I feel a little bit like, wow, you got this really cool army and it's just got beat, even though you've done the right sort of tactics and you roll horrendously. You get annoyed with the dice and things, but it's a game of chance. That's what happens. That's the point.
Yeah. So it's like for me, I'm sort of all round as far as the hobby goes. It's like I enjoy the painting side of it. I enjoy playing games, mixing with new people, or even just your group of friends and stuff. That's where the hobby is for me.
Yeah. And that's what I think I prefer to do. I'd rather turn up and just watch everybody else play games.
And then just paint and do modelling and the painting side of it.
Yeah, just sit and chat. I really enjoy that side of it. I think Elster Nation yesterday was chatting about the hobby being sociable for gaming but not for anything else. And I disagree with that. Like, I think I said in the chat yesterday that painting in a group and doing like the modelling stuff in a group, that's all sociable for me.
Well, that like you were saying about like if you're just chatting whilst painting, that can help when. And this is going back to, I think we had a question on Wednesday, as far as painting like big armies and stuff. If you're sat on your own, just painting, just in silence, it gets tiring and you get bored, and so I don't want to do it anymore. But even if you've just got the one person to speak to, that's going to encourage you to keep going.
I don't paint unless I'm on a Google Hangout with somebody anymore.
Yeah.
And so I do, but that's at like the early hours of the morning. But I have to have something else in that case. I have to have an audiobook or some music or a film playing in the background. I have to be having something in the background, otherwise I can't paint, I can't build, I can't hobby without having something on.
Mm.
But if I have a choice, it will be somebody on the other end of a Hangout to talk to.
Yeah, it's always good to do modelling and painting whilst talking to someone.
Yeah. I'm going to switch from doing red because I'm not really paying attention.
Okay.
And I don't even do blending, so it's difficult to get this to the same level as the leg that I've done, even though it's not great.
I always find if you're going to do the blending, is do it all together.
Yeah. Pay attention, Sam. Kablams, but I saw the Caradon today at Warhammer World. I'm on the fence, I must say. Yeah. Is that for the same sort of reasons? Like you Because initially I saw them as sky pirates and then fell in love. Loved the airships. They're the best thing for me. But I'm not a fan of the clunkier armour, and I'm not a fan of the metal beards, and I'm not a fan of the zero flesh. So for me, there's some really cool stuff, but there's also some.
So would you want like a mix between the I can't even think of the name, the other dwarfs, the fire ones? I can't remember what they're
Fire
called.
Slayers, I didn't like them. You know what I would have wanted actually.
But would you want a sort of mix between them and what the I can't even say the name.
Caradon, yeah. If I could, yes, but I'm also on the fence with dwarves, I have to say.
Okay, why?
I think I'd have rather they be human or elves. No, elves wouldn't work, and humans wouldn't work to a point because it's that whole airship feel. Like the dwarves are obviously capable of building those sort of things, which is why they've done it. But I think I've always been a fan of the humans and the elves, so I think if they had that sort of airship, then I would have been won over straight away. What was I going to do? My golds. Steve's put, I find it difficult if I lose a certain model, troops not bothered. That's a lie, Steve. Steve's worse than me when it comes to losing games, and I admit that I'm pretty bad. Steve's been quite vocal in the past, hasn't he? He gets really angry when you kill his character. That's the worst thing that Steve does, though. He goes into a game saying, I love this. Mephiston's my favourite character. So straight away, everybody will just go, right, Mephiston, first target. Because if you kill that character,
it's always a big mistake to tell your opponent, that's my favourite model.
Yeah, and don't talk about the fact that it's the same as the shiny model syndrome. You know, when you just painted something and you go, I've just finished painting this, I want to use it in the game. Same sort of thing. Don't tell anybody you've just spent a week or two on a model.
Because normally what happens is first shot, take it off, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, this is a tactical decision. If you kill that, it won't do anything. Doesn't matter. I'm going to crush your morale.
But it works on some people though.
Works on me. Works on Steve. It doesn't really work on you because you just keep playing regardless. You're relentless. Yeah. We've had games where Mike's had one model left, and I'm just saying, "Do you want to quit? Do you want to stop?" And he's like, no.
I might better do something.
There's a chance I could pull back here on points. Really? Are we really going to play this?
I don't like to give up.
I know you don't like to give up, but I've never seen the determination on that level before. It's impressive. So Bazooka J Rambo, I normally put on a film, YouTube music, although I can end up drumming along to the music, which doesn't help. No.
Yeah, I find that, so I have to go careful on if I'm going to listen to music and stuff like that. Is to go careful what I put on, because otherwise I'll start singing along to it, and then I'm not concentrating on the painting properly anymore now. So I have to avoid certain things.
Just got an image of you breaking out into dance in the middle of the room. Yeah, Mike, have you done any painting today? Nah, sorry. I was busy dancing. Auric Loveguard, an Auric player shouldn't even consider stunties. Yep. If I put on a movie, it's one I have seen a billion times. Yeah, just so you can chuck it on in the background. Chuck it on in the background and just get on with hobby. It's the same with like chats like these. You can just turn it on. You don't need to watch what's going on the screen because there's not much going on, to be honest. It's just me putting a bit of paint on the model and then forgetting where I'm up to. But it's just something to listen to.
Yeah.
Background noise. Crowder, did you see the video GW put out today about the Overlords? I started it and then I had Phil shouted at me because I needed to go back to building scenery. Was that the one with the developers or the developer talking about the background? It was an American guy. If it was the same one I saw, yeah, I did see the start of it. But I need to go back and finish watching that. Lord Tattoo, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Steve, yeah, I don't need reminding of that incident.
Which incident was that?
Oh, just every incident where he points out his favourite character and then everyone targets it and kills it.
Oh, I didn't know if you were on about the Mephiston one or the Nagash one.
Or the Dante one.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that.
I really don't know what I'm doing with this model. How are you getting on with yours?
I put it down for the minute because obviously whilst I'm talking, I'm only half concentrating, and that's not a good idea when I've got a blade in my hand. So I've put it down for now.
Thought it was Nurgle. No, Lord Tattoo. I've got a backstory. He isn't chaos. Surprisingly, he's just been gifted by the gods. He's actually a lone mercenary, been kicked out of the Stormcast Eternals because he was gifted by Chaos. Chaos love him so much, even when he's killing Chaos, they keep gifting him. So he's a bit of a random one, really. James has put, "What is your choice of film while painting?" I know one of my favourite films that I always put on. Was there any that you put on?
I don't think I've put a film on whilst painting before.
Really?
I don't think I have, no.
That's not good.
You go first and I'll have a think if I have or not.
Mine is Kingdom of Heaven. I don't like Orlando Bloom in really any films. You know, Legolas, fair enough, pretty cool just because it's Legolas, but I don't like Orlando Bloom as an actor. But in Kingdom of Heaven, I love that film so much. So I just put that on over and over again. I've seen it so many times. It's a long film, and what I find is because it's like 3 hours long, I think, with the director's cut, I can get a lot painted in watching it once.
I don't think I have. I've ever put a film on whilst painting. Normally, if I have anything on like that, it would just be painting tutorials, and I'll just keep letting them play and just listen along.
Yeah, I find painting tutorials are difficult because you want to obviously look up at what's going on.
Yeah, well, sometimes I've found like when I've been painting a certain thing that it just happens to come onto a video about that, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, if I've been struggling with what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden it says about doing it in a slightly different way to the way I've been doing, then I've stumbled across something that's actually helping me.
What else have we got? Kiblams, if it was the one I saw, then yeah, I saw it. Oh, it's another quote. What did I say then? If it was the one I saw, then yeah, I saw it. that's definitely something I'd say. I don't know. It's me with words again.
I don't think I realised.
Craig's really good at picking out my ineffective language.
I must have just got used to it because I didn't even realise.
Yeah, I didn't realise either. Because in my head, I sound really like I'm like an English professor, but then when I actually say something, I can't even speak English. It's really bad. What else we got? James, Sam, you were kidding me. That's what I put on. Yeah, Kingdom of Heaven is amazing. It's got Liam Neeson in it. There's some really cool scenes in there. There's the big Viking-looking dude who's just a monster. Just a really cool film, and there's so much to it. Go and watch Kingdom of Heaven if you haven't watched it already. It's not all about religion. It's like fighting and killing, and it's good. Is anybody else working on stuff while they're tuning into this tonight anyway? Oh, another one as well, actually. I wanted to talk about that battle report that me and Rachel had.
Was this from the other day?
Yeah. So you can go onto the website, wargameronline.com, and see the video on there early. If not, it's on YouTube on Sunday. But if you go onto the website, you can just watch it from there. But it was quite a good one. Rachel cheated a few times. Just going to point that out.
A few.
I forgot all my rules.
That's a standard thing for you, though. That you'll get towards the end of the game and go, oh, I forgot all of this.
You know what I do is I get too excited. So you know when you charge something into combat, you might even forget an entire phase because you're so excited to get something into combat.
Yeah.
So that's what I do quite regularly. And obviously, because you've already gone past the point of no return, you can't say to Rachel, "Would you mind if I just do this?" Even though I haven't rolled anything, because she just says, "No, you've gone too far now. You've said the assault phase, so you can't shoot anymore."
Yeah, well, that goes back to the one that varies from player to player, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because some people allow you to go back and do it.
Well, especially if you allow that person to go back and then they don't allow you to do the same thing. That's good old Rach for you. What else we got? Braveheart, that's another good one. Yeah. Patriot, The Patriot's another good one. There's quite a few Mel Gibson films actually. There's a soldier. We Were Soldiers. It's another good film to watch while painting. There's a crazy scene in there where I think there's a colonel just standing up in the middle of like this big firefight, just walking around with a pistol. There's like people dying all over the place, and he's just walking around in the middle of the battlefield. Brilliant. Proper Mel Gibson, unrealistic, over the top, heroic scenes, but it's good watch. Mad Max, Bazooka J Rambo says. Mad Max Fury Road. 5-6 times now I think we've watched that.
I watched that. You'd kept saying about it to me. I watched that finally the other week.
Have you not seen it since? Like before that?
No. I hadn't. It was never something that was really like, I really need to watch that or anything. I thought you kept going on about it, so I'll try it out. It was all right. I wouldn't say on the same level as like where you have with it, but I thought it was worth a watch.
It's more the details which I like it for. So, all the attention to detail. You've got these really cool characters, the dark looking imagery, the atmosphere that's built around it. You've got, all the landscapes, even though everything's destroyed and it's desert and, pretty bare looking. There's still so much to it. Like that crow bit, the swamps, you've got the oasis looking things on the top of that mountain. It just looks brilliant and it's believable and it's so action packed. And then you've got all the characters and all the cars. I'm not into cars that much, but there's so much detail on modifying them and sticking bits of armor all over the place. And that's why we were looking at the Devil's Run miniatures game.
When I was watching it, I was thinking it would be quite cool to try and make something like that.
And that's pretty much what Devil's Run is, and that's why we watched it over and over again, just because we'd been looking at Devil's Run, and yeah, it's pretty much that. Great stuff. So people are working on stuff while watching. We have Steve working on a grave guard. I was going to say graveyard then.
Well, Steve's been smashing out his army at the minute, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good.
He's been getting quite a lot done.
His corpse car is zombies. He's had those zombies. I think
there was quite a lot of zombies as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. I think I've heard him whining about zombies for 2 years straight, and he's finally done them.
It's always nice though when you've got that giant horde unit. Once it's done, it's like, yeah, I don't need to do that again now.
It's definitely a good thing. Kablamas is working on a base for the Smegway.
Ooh.
Jim Wilson's working on some Gorkamorka. That's interesting. James is working on the new channel tonight and getting stuff sorted. Has been quite an eventful day, as you know. So yeah, he switched from, I don't know if he's switched fully, but he was in Without a Clue Wargaming, and now he's started up Tabletop War James channel. So there'll be a lot to set up for that. Working on the channel is quite a bit of work. I mean...
Well, you have quite a few nights where you're up like till 4 or 5 in the morning, like getting finishing touches done on things.
Yeah, like last night because I knew we were going to be doing the scenery today. Yeah. I needed to finish the unboxing editing ready for tomorrow. So I had to stay up to do that, and that was till 4 in the morning when it had fully uploaded. So that's ready for tomorrow now, at least. That'll go out. And then there was the event that we went to recently, that tournament.
Yeah.
Quickly did an edit for that. I mean, that was like 30-40 minutes worth of footage, cut in between it all, trying to align it as best as possible to the sound in the background. and it ended up being like a 3 or 4 minute video. But it's like you can spend hours.
That's the thing, is it's definitely like, because I remember before you'd started up the website and the YouTube channel, that you'd look at YouTube videos and you wouldn't think too much as to what goes into it until you actually try to do one, and then you realise how much there actually is to it.
Yeah, and then you've got the other side of it as well. Like if we were doing it as a hobby, and just a hobby, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, where we've got stuff lined up so that we can have consistent amount of content coming out. And it's still only me doing the majority of the content. Phil's working full time, so he's helping as much as he can, but he's got loads of content filmed, but he hasn't had the time to edit it all. So it's difficult to try and get a video out a day, and still have time to have a life and all that sort of stuff. But it's just a massive balancing act.
But there is a lot of content still to come, though, isn't there?
Oh, there's loads of videos. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is we've only put one premium video up on YouTube for the YouTube channel. In terms of a painting tutorial, the only one that's gone up is a iron jaw video. Everything else has been like quick tips or how to paint a base and things. They're all really quick things, 2 to 5 minutes. Whereas the website has got all of the premium videos, which are 10 to 30 minutes long. So the stuff that has taken longer to film is all on the website. And the YouTube stuff is more... The YouTube is more like the chats, the hangouts, the 2 battle reports a month at the minute. And then the other 2 are on the website. And the smaller videos like the quick tips and stuff like that. But it's difficult balancing it. And also balancing... how are you going to get that time in order to do it? Because obviously I'm not working. I left my job to do this. And for a year, Rachel's been supporting me. So it would be nice to not have to do things like adverts and all that sort of stuff, just to provide content for people and have enough from that to be able to keep on doing content.
Yeah.
But it's difficult. And it's definitely, I was saying to you the other day, having a full-time job, like managing stores and things like that, just retail work. Managing stores was, when I was doing it, it felt like a lot of work. I was doing like 50, 60-hour weeks, putting a lot into that sort of job. But even then I had time to sit and do hobby when I got home, or spend like a few hours with Rachel every night, or play on the Xbox or whatever. Since we've been doing this, I've been just doing this till 4 a.m. every morning.
But it's like tonight's chat and stuff. Like doing a live chat like this, it's a bit more relaxing and it's easier. Plus, it means that we can then communicate with the community and answer questions and have a chat with everyone. Whilst if there's anyone either just sat listening or if they're sat doing hobby at the same time. Yeah,
it's a nice break up from doing the editing. Like I look forward to doing these live chats. They're brilliant. Because I can go, right, 2 or 3 days of the week I'll be filming something. I'll sort out the editing time for that, planning all of that out. But then I'm looking forward to like the Wednesday live chat when we have guests on. Even though it is sometimes a bit difficult to schedule everything and get everything set up, it's still enjoyable doing those. And then on the Friday, we've just started these. This is the third one for us, but these are really enjoyable just to have a nice chat with people. And then on the website, obviously the premium side of things, we're going to be doing a lot more behind the scene chats and just speaking to all the people who are supporting us and helping us keep doing this content. Awesome. Let's see what else we've got in the chat. Bazooka J Rambo, Mad Max. All the mad cars, the chrome, Gorka Morkaman. There's so many good quotes from Mad Max as well. Like, so shiny, so chrome. What a lovely day. What's the one that me and Phil say all the time? Mediocre. You have to say mediocre and then the other person has to repeat it. That's the rule. And Steve's put 55 rhombies. James, Tabletop War James, yes, it's official today. So yeah, James has now got his own new channel. I'm sure it's going to be full of content in no time at all. He just has to film an afternoon working on his iron hands. Here is an afternoon working on iron hands. That's 10 videos. Really haven't got much painted. I was sitting there thinking I could probably get a lot of this done tonight.
Yeah, well, we've been like that for like the first 2 chats that we did as well. I was like, yeah, well, we just sit down, we'll get on with this, and then you find that you just end up putting it down, and we're just having a conversation and answering questions.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, to be honest. I'm quite happy to put stuff down and just communicate with everyone.
It's been good. It's awesome having so many people, especially like on the Facebook page. There's loads of people putting up images of their models and chatting away on there. YouTube, we're getting more and more comments. We're getting more and more topics and questions sent in that we can talk about each week. It's really nice having a bunch of engagement and just being able to chat to so many different people.
Mm.
And we've got so many events coming up as well. We've got Salute, which we'll probably talk about next Wednesday.
Yeah.
But Salute's going to be one that's worth talking about because we've never been before, have we?
No, I've never been to Salute. I think the only event thing I've ever been to before is Warhammer Fest. I think that's the only one I've ever been to.
Yep. And then we've got ChillCon in May, end of May. And then we've got Warhammer Fest the day after. So we've got 3 events coming up soon, which are going to be really good to go to. On top of anything else we discover along the way. Right, I think we'll probably call it. It's been an hour. It's been good. I haven't got much painted. I'll probably call it and then I can just blitz this model tonight.
No, it's been another fun chat though.
Yes, so thanks to everyone who has joined us. Thanks to everyone who has been chatting away. If you are new to the channel or you're watching this back and you want to join in on any of these live chats, we aim to do one on a Wednesday at 8 o'clock UK time and one on a Friday at 8 o'clock UK time. The one on the Friday we can do more than an hour. It just depends on how many people are watching, how many questions we get, whether there's a bunch of stuff to go through. James has put, I'm going to Salute now. We were looking forward to it. That's another person we can meet up. I know Spud and Else Nation, a bunch of people are going. Loads from our local area. We've got the Crescent Gaming Consortium, so the guys who do Devil's Run, they're going from this area. I know there's another company going from near here. Bazooka J Rambo's put, wear comfortable shoes and trainers to Salute. It's a big place to walk around, yep. And if you see us there as well, there's going to be probably 4 of us in Wargamer Online t-shirts. If you see us walking around, just come over and say hello, because it'd be awesome to just say hello and catch up with everybody and put faces to names.
Yeah, don't be afraid to come over and just have a chat.
Yeah, it's pretty, we're pretty fine. And Rachel will probably, I mean, if alcohol's allowed, which rumours are that alcohol is allowed, Rachel is probably going to be pretty giddy walking around the place, especially if wine's available.
Okay.
Kuroda, do you think / feel you guys are going to be doing anything like hats, shirts, or promo codes? Promo code. I mean, hats and shirts, they're all available on our website right now. We've gone through the same company that Games Workshop use for their merchandise, so we don't make much money on it, if anything at all, I don't think. We might make £1 or 2. But if you go on over to wargameronline.com, in the menu there is a shop link, and you can click on that, and it puts you directly into the, it's called Spreadshirt. They do all of the merchandise, so you just pick whichever shirt or mug or hat or anything that you want, choose the logo on it, pick the colour that you want. Just make sure that you, I mean, the way that it works is you might pick a white t-shirt with the white logo, and obviously it won't come up with anything saying that this will be, it won't work. You've just got to look at the colour and make sure you don't put a white icon on a white t-shirt. But other than that,
you mean it won't give you a warning
to
say?
It won't pop up saying don't do this. It's not going to show up. But other than that, you get a bit more choice about what you want to pick, and it means we don't have to worry about ordering 100 t-shirts and not selling many of them. So just head on over to the website and do that. It does help us out still, but it gets some really nice merchandise out there. The t-shirts are great. I mean, I love our logo. I didn't make the logo, somebody else did, so I absolutely love it, and I love the t-shirts. I know Steve's already bought a t-shirt, and we haven't really advertised it actually, but
No.
you can buy t-shirts on there. Promo codes, we're going to do different stuff for promo codes. In terms of what we have for you to buy, it's pretty much the premium membership on the website. So
was there not a reward for the you and Spud were throwing in together for Sigmar Showdown?
Yeah, Sigmar Showdown. You can do if you enter the competition for Sigmar Showdown. It's not really competition; it's more of a challenge. Build a model.
Yeah.
Build a model. You've got till the 6th of May to get it done. Send in the pictures, and we're going to come up with some sort of way to judge it. And we're giving away prizes. So Spud's giving away a ChillCon ticket as well as a ChillCon Spud Brock miniature. And we're giving away a 12-month membership to the website, a premium membership. So it's worth just doing the challenge. It's a bit of fun, and you also might win something. All right, that's everything. So thanks to everyone joining. We'll see you all next time. Head on over to the website for more. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and like the video if you liked it. Leave us topics and comments, topics or questions in the comments below after this goes through, and we can put them onto our list and we'll answer them next time. And everybody else have a really good weekend if we don't speak to you along the way. Pretty much it from me.
Thanks, everyone.
See you later.
Credit.